We're having a snow day up here in the Pacific Northwest, and that can only mean one thing. Lock yourself indoors, cozy up, and build Lego. Now that I think about it, that's actually 3 things. It's been a while since I last made a large-scale mock on my channel, so I decided to spend my weekend building a massive battle from the Clone Wars. Since I've added so many new 501st minifigs to my collection in the last month or two, I figured now is the perfect time to get these guys incorporated into another large-scale mock like this one. Simply put, my minifig collection has grown so much since then, and today is almost like a small celebration of not only where my collection has gone, but of where this channel has grown since the last large-scale mock I made. Not only have I learned more building techniques and found really cool inspirational builds, but this community has grown too. And this video is for all of y'all, because having those interactions with you guys makes it so much more fun for me, and I really appreciate it. So with that being said, sit back and relax. Maybe grab yourself a sippy and enjoy as I spend my weekend building a large Lego battle for your viewing pleasure. Now, the initial concept of this build is to make an ancient Jedi temple on a snowy planet. I mean, I had to incorporate snow in this build, but the temple is being controlled by a former Jedi turned Sith, the infamous Count Dooku and his separatist forces. To make this easy on me, I wanted to build this in 3 modular sections, and it'd be easy to not only build the mock, but transport it if needed. This isn't a mock style I've tried before, and like I mentioned, I'm snowed in, so it's not like I'm gonna go anywhere or transport this build. However, it's something I wanted to try. So for the first section, I wanted to build a foresty area for Anakin and the 501st to attack from. I decided to go with a gravel road technique. I've learned it in the past, I've used it in other mocks, and since it's such a large area, I figured I could also incorporate these larger circle pieces as stones in the road within the outline that I made. And after placing hundreds, if not thousands, of these godforsaken round pieces, I had a road put together along the outline I created, which honestly helped a ton. After that, I added the snowy areas with trees and shrubbery, and both the tree and bush designs are new techniques that I haven't used before on previous builds in this channel. I honestly have no idea where this bush technique originated, but I absolutely love it, so if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. All in all, this section took me a lot longer than I anticipated, primarily due to the road design, but I think it was worth it because this forest section looks sick. Now this second section of the build is going to be the battleground. Essentially, section 1 is where the Republic troops are, section 3 is where the Separatists are, and section 2 is the beautiful area where they meet. And to make sure this section could connect with the others in the module design, I added Technic pieces into the foundation so it could connect with the other 2 sections. Now, even though this area is where the battle is supposed to be being fought, I didn't want this section to just be one big battle. I had some ideas on how I wanted the temple to look, so the plan is to add some sort of initial balcony for the temple and a giant archway for the troops to run under. I started this by finishing the gravel road into the second section of the mock, and I even had to make some adjustments in order to fill out the road. One example of that is the fact that I had to extend the balcony by a few studs in order to make sure the road would get filled and no other major adjustments would need to be made. The archway was an important landmark to add, so the second section wouldn't be boring compared to the others. I used a design style I had tried in the past using some old brick style pieces, plates, and more, and ended up with a design that I really liked. Like I said, this section is going to be where most of the fighting is going to be, so I wanted to keep it relatively open. And a couple ways I did that was by extending the road and reducing the amounts of plants in the area. All in all, I think this was another great section of the build. The road is finally finished and the temple is already looking great. Let me know what you think so far, and now on to the third section. Like I said earlier, this section of the build is going to be where the Separatist forces will be defending the temple. I wanted to make a large temple style build with a section of columns and stone tiles.
Don't like. You could use more columns.
But as always, I had to start with building the foundation that would scale with the rest of the build. One thing I really like about this build is the fact that all the sections scale really well with each other, and they are all massive structures similar to what we would see in an actual Star Wars setting. I wanted to tile up this section to give it that feel and look of an old temple, and I even added some pieces to look like cracked tiles. Then I added these pillars that also act as a lock for the modular build between the second and third sections. After this, I added some final pieces for this scene, and I was really happy with the temple. I put together this roof that uses a similar technique to the archway, and I have to say, this temple looks awesome. After this, all that was left to do was add the minifigs. Of course, I had to start with my 501st. I added a section in the back where Kix is providing medical attention to other clones. Tub, Dogma, and Hardcase are running into the battle with Jesse and Rex leading the charge, charge next to Anakin and Ahsoka as Anakin fights Ventress. Further up the temple stairs, we see Fives and Echo running into the fight behind Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto, who are having a classic Clone Wars monologue with Count Dooku and his Magna Guards. Further up the build, this tactical droid is giving some instructions to these commando droids that he believes will change the fate of the battle, and this droid is targeting shots for this spider droid.
1137. What was that again? Just fire right there.
All in all, I'm incredibly happy with this large scale build. This was a great way to spend my weekend, and I'm really glad I was able to build another large-scale MOC for the first time in like 6 months. But I hope you liked the build as well, and like I said earlier, I really appreciate the comments, interactions, and more from all of you. Essentially, I really appreciate the support, and I look forward to continue to make this content going forward. But if you like this video, then check out some of the other builds I've done here. And if you're interested in seeing some custom LEGO CMF series for Star Wars, then check out this playlist here. But as always, thanks for swinging by the cantina today. I wish you safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.